but one of the biggest vulnerabilities is the people that we have in our network. It's people who are receiving email. There's all kinds of ways. There's things that we get every day in our email that can let a hacker in.
Hello, my name is Jeff Warden, and I'm the assistant editor here at FacilitiesNet. Today, I'll be talking to FEA's Laurie Gilmer about the cyber threats that exist and what facilities managers can do to defend against them. So, what are the biggest cyber threats to facilities currently?
I think one of the biggest threats is internet connectivity, how increasingly connected we are. That just seems to be opening up more ports for cyber threats. So for facility managers, it's our connection of systems like our IWMS or our CMMS or our building automation system. There's enough stories out there about how someone hacked in to a company through a building automation system. So that's one area that I think is huge. So it's exciting and interesting to have the the Internet of Things offering tremendous connectivity and all the benefits that come with it, remote access, et cetera. It's lovely, but it also presents with it that threat. I think another threat is, and it's an opportunity as well, is the relationship between IT and FM. It has traditionally not been a strong one. IT kind of does their thing, and facility management does their thing. But when we talk about cybersecurity and cyber safety, we really need to get that relationship to be in a much better place. We need IT and FM to be talking with one another, working collaboratively together to address these kinds of threats because IT has knowledge that FM needs, and IT needs to know things about what facilities management is doing to really have a good solid response.
And what can facility managers do to protect their organizations from cyber attacks?
This gets back to the threat. It's build that relationship with your IT team, and it really should be a good collaborative relationship, not calling them in when you need to connect up a piece of equipment and using that as the proxy for the relationship. It Facility management needs to work on building that bridge and needs to understand from IT's perspective what are the threats that they see, what are the kinds of things what advice can they give on how to protect um, on how to protect the organization, what barriers might we put up. One of the pieces of advice that I've seen in cyber forums is to keep facility management systems off of main business systems, so keep them separate. In a way, I guess you might think of it as sort of air gapping them, and that goes back to the threat of hackers getting into building automation systems and using that as a vehicle to then get to business systems. If you can separate those things, um, then you have a better chance of at least not blending those, not allowing the building automation system to be the vehicle for access. That's another thing that they can do. A huge thing is engaging people in these safety and security processes, training your people on one of the biggest threats. So there's the systems that we operate, and we can harden those as best we can. But one of the biggest vulnerabilities is the people that we have in our network. It's people who are receiving emails, and they might be malicious emails that allow in things like photographs or clickbait or what have you. There's all kinds of ways. There's things that we get every day in our email that that can let a hacker in. One of the things that we do is if we see a suspicious email, we forward it on to our IT manager, and there's a way that we have to do that. And we basically say, please add this to the filter so that whoever that is gets added to the filter and hopefully doesn't come through again. Now we have to be vigilant to make sure that we're staying on top of it because things do get through. There's new ways people invent to come through and email you. But involving your people, training them and having that ongoing education, I think that's a really important step to do. Another one, and this one I picked up from another cyber safety article that I read, is controlling remote access. So if you have making sure that you as the facility manager or the facility management team have control of any remote access into systems. In other words, don't let your vendor control your access. You need to be in control of who is getting into your systems. You need to be able to see those people and ensure that you don't have a malicious actor coming in. So those are a few of the things that the FM can do.